Hi, I'm author SC Vincent, and this is my YouTube channel. I write mostly science fiction, horror, and fantasy. Um, I decided to start this channel to kind of help talk about my stuff, my works, things I'm interested in, um, like anime, video games, books, book process, my garden, things like that. So I'm not going to make this like a super long introduction, but just a little bit about me. I've been creatively writing since I was a child, writing lyrics for songs, um, writing fan fiction for like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's the kind of stuff I was doing before I was doing anything writing like real books. But and learning reading books like Animorphs as a kid, and Edgar Allan Poe in high school, getting a lot of my influences from different areas, different that's just kind of where I was rooted from and how I grew. In college, I really read more stuff like what's that one? What is that one I have? I don't remember. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I don't remember, but I've read a lot more classics. Still reading classics, but I mostly love reading now books like Vampire Hunter D. Very pulpy stuff is kind of what I like. I like The Witcher. You know, Wizard of Oz. I say The Wizard of Oz is my favorite children's book series. I love collecting the hardcover editions, so that's kind of my taste. I also love sometimes reading stuff that I wouldn't expect to read. Because, like, I'll go back and I'll read a classic book. Because I read classic books to help me learn how to write better. So I'll go back and I'll be like, man, I'll read Pride and Prejudice. It's like, I don't have any interest. I didn't think I had any interest in that. But I've tried reading it and I was like, wow, this is a really great book. Um, so, sometimes, I read different things from all over the place, and it'll come and I can put it into my own works, influences, all that. It's great. So that's what this channel is going to be about. I'm not going to make a channel where it's live streaming. I'm not going to be good at a live form. I don't think. I'm not that experienced. It's going to be an array of my interests, because I don't read enough books to make a video about a book every week. But to get to the point, I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to show you some of my books that I've written. Just kind of a quick view. So this was my first book. It came out in 2021. It's called The Arcadian Destiny. It is kind of a normal high fantasy book. It's kind of like coming of age, hero's journey. Main character starts off kind of, he's not the most likable guy, but he has someone he loves, and he's willing to give up everything to be with her despite the consequences. But the consequences are too much, he finds out, and he gets betrayed by his sister, and he has to return and take the kingdom over back from her, because he realizes that giving up what he had was too great a cost, and it hurt the ones he loves the most. So that's kind of what The Arcadian Destiny is about. It has a lot of those kind of tropes that you'd like. If you like Warcraft or Lord of the Rings, it was my first book I wrote in 2021. No, I wrote in like 2019, and it just took forever. I go into this of how the writing process of my books. I'll show you a blog where I did that later, if you want to read it. Just so that's the book here. I'm just gonna give you a quick look at all of them, and then we can, because I don't want this video to be half an hour. No. This is my second book, called East the Fallen. it's probably my shortest book and my best reviewed so far. Um, it's about a character named Rue and the princess of East named Donna. Um, she is running to find the story of the book that starts off with her running away to find someone who can save her kingdom, and she stumbles because she runs into the Drakenlands and falls into a fossilized tree where she finds a dragon's egg, and from it is hatched a kind of mysterious but epic man who has amnesia. Um, and for some reason, the effects of the cursed lands don't affect him, but he has special powers, and so she takes him back to East to see if he can help with defeating the evil of the devil. It's inspired by the Bible, the book of Genesis. It's inspired by, the video game series a little bit. It's not a ripoff or anything. So there's a lot of originality in this. So don't think I'm like taking stuff. But there's a lot of twists and turns. There's Niflheim, I think that's how you pronounce it. Wyverns. There's all kinds of stuff. The story is essentially about. It's a love story a little bit, but there's a lot of action in it. This is the one if you want to just kind of check me out. It's a decent one. I'll show you that one as well later. And my latest book is a young adult science fiction story called The Sakura Element. It's a full-fledged novel, so it's longer than that last one. It is about Oka, who is a modified human, and it's on her first day of high school, and she's entering a high school meant for the gentry, and it takes place in the future, in a dystopian future after the Third World War, where their society has kind of reverted back to a kind of English 19th, 18th century type situation, because that's where they found the structure they needed to rebuild society. And so, however, the World War was fought between the modified humans, and the normal humans. The normal humans won, and it was restructured in such a way to make modified humans lesser than. And so because of her father, who's a normal human, has enough money, she's able to go to school in the gentry, outside of the impoverished city. However, when she goes there, she's immediately hit by the other main character, Alan Dubois, who is he's a fellow student, but he's kind of in charge of the school because his father owns it. And immediately they're at odds, and essentially the story is a love story, and they both have struggles to fight hypocrisy and discrimination on both sides of where they're from, and there's a love triangle, but they have to kind of see where they're going to end up, what the answers are to their questions in life, and do they find those answers together? That's kind of what the story's about. There's also a lot of action, I took a lot of inspiration from Pride and Prejudice when I read that one, and some anime inspiration as well. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. So those are the main books, and you might hear my dogs in the background. Those are my main books so far. I've written a few short stories. One of them's been published, but I'm not gonna show you that one. You can find that on my Amazon store, which I'll show you right now. Let me see if I can change my screen capture. So this is my Twitter at SCVincent4. If you want to follow me or know anything, this is where you should find me. But that's my link tree. That has a link to everything, to all of my social media, all of my websites right there. And this is my website. I don't use it often, but if you want like a complete bibliography of everything, this is where you'll find it. So I wrote a short story, moving quickly here. This was one that was published in this little thing. It was called A Girl of Peculiar Taste. It was a vampire story. This is well reviewed, but let's see. I should be right. Yep, there I am, SC Vincent. So pretty good reviews. So if you want to go get a deep cut into my writing history, you can check that one out. But first, I'll show you some of my books here. This is the Arcadian Destiny, my very first book. So it was released, let's see, May 6, 2021. It is $2.99. For a first book, I think that's a pretty decent score, pretty decent review. You know, I got better as time went on. You can get, it's available on Kindle Unlimited, $2.99, or free Kindle Unlimited, $13.99 paperback, $16 hardcover. You can look inside. I let people read all my books before you buy them, so you know, I put a lot of effort into my books. I have clickable in all my digital books. You can click, go straight to the chapter. It's like that when you download the book too. I'm someone who's very, I'll make a video about this later on. I'm a stickler for having professional looking books, formatted books. This is my second book, East the Fallen. My price is, you know, I'm kind of the same as everyone else. Or, you know, some people do like the $4.99. All my books are always $2.99 digital. $2.99. Paperback $10.99. It's a little cheaper on this one because it's a smaller book. But, you know, I got a five stars on this one. So it was well liked. A unique way to tell tales, old as time, a journey of enlightenment. Who doesn't love a dragon? That's true. There's a dragon, and tales old as time, good versus evil, exactly. Got some nice graphics. There you go. That's East the Fallen, and then the latest book, The Sakura Element. This one came out in March, but it has no reviews yet, guys. And if you're the first person to give this a review, you're gonna be my hero, because reviews mean more to authors than than anything else. Like giving us your thoughts on what we did, that's the best thing ever. A price for this one is Kindle Unlimited free, $2.99 when you buy. That's, you know, this book, you know, I'm someone who's getting better as an artist, as a writer. So this is like the best book I've written so far. You're really getting a good bang for your buck with this. Look at this art. I commissioned this art, and I worked with the artist. It's like and we worked together, and it looks amazing. If anything, you'll want to get it just for the cover art. But you can look inside and get a look at this. clickable, nice fonts. This is my most professional looking book. It looks better than a lot of the like traditional published books that you see on the market today, and that's what I feel is very important in my publishing. Is just being able to be competitive compared to the market, to the indie market and the traditional market. That's something I really try to do. And this is the book that, if you look, in our space, in this space, if you kind of talk about like the indie scene or the traditional publishing, the indie publishing scene or the Iron Age or just anything like that, a lot of people talk about how there's not really any young adult or not any books for I guess you could say women and men or younger audiences in anything, or romances. This would be the answer to that. You could show them this, and this is exactly what's probably in a drought in our market there. And that's kind of it so far. I mean, that's several years worth of work just to show you what I'm doing and the kind of work that I'm doing and the output. I'm working on so many more books. I'm writing another horror story right now. I'm writing it by hand, actually. I have it. I have it downstairs, so I can't show it to you. But I have it. I'm writing it by hand. It's about a crazy stalker necrophiliac, and he's going up against a woman who can take pictures of the dead and bring their souls back. But she takes a picture of the woman that he stalked, and so he wants that picture of her, and it has her soul in it, and it has like a demonic cult in it. It's this whole crazy thing. That's what my next story is about. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a short one because I don't know how I'm gonna write this thing long by hand. But anyway, so if you want to know more about me, like an in-depth interview, which why would you? I mean, I would understand why you wouldn't, but if you go to elstrife.com, I might put this. I'm gonna put a link to everything in the video below. But if you go to elstrife.com and go to author interviews, she's a great author and very kind. She did a interview with me, with a 50-question interview. It was very thorough, and it's just like why I started writing, why I do everything, what my process is, and advice to new writers. That's something that this channel is also going to be about, is also like process, advice, how to get started and what not to do, because I've done a lot of things wrong, and I want to help people, not make those mistakes. One of those mistakes that I started, I'll do it. Let me show you. I'll be honest with you. So one of the mistakes that I made, my very first, when I started writing in my writing career, was not having much of a social media presence. When I first released my first book, that first book is my best-selling book, and to me, in my opinion, it's my worst book. But I mean, a lot of authors think that their first book is not their best. But the point is, like, to propel that book and to propel their career, you kind of want to have a good social media presence. And while I kind of had like a Twitter that was hot for a while, but it stagnated, but it was growing pretty fast, because back then on Twitter, or X, it was known as Twitter, the writing community was a significant thing, and I was part of it. But I didn't have a YouTube channel, and there's like BookTube and all kinds of stuff. I noticed that if you really want to sell your books, if you really want to do all that, you got to have a YouTube channel. You got to have an audience. You got to have, I know that's kind of shallow, or it may come off as shallow or grifty or something, but in exchange for me advertising my books, I'm going to be giving you my professional experience, advice, and opinions on all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of the point of the channel. That's me. You can just call me Spencer. You can call me SC Vincent. Doesn't matter. Also, if you like the look of this, one last thing, if you like the Sakura element, and you're like, you know, that's kind of interesting. I wanna try that one out, but I don't want to pay, like, I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I don't want to pay $2.99. All you have to do is share this video on Twitter and tag me. Share this video on Twitter, tag me at SCVincent4, and comment on this video, like and subscribe. I don't know if I can tell if you at least comment. I don't know if I can tell if you liked it, shared it, or whatever. Oh yeah, I mean, I can tell if you shared it, whatever, you know. Comment on the video and share the video on Twitter with my handle, and I will give you a free physical proof copy of paperback of the Sakura element. Now, there are some stipulations. You have to live in the United States, in the continental United States, and I will ship you a copy free. You, of course, have to communicate with me on X, twitter.com, via TM. So you know, I'll need your address and everything, because that's how it works. But you know, get a free book. That's what this is about. Sharing my books, spreading the word. That's about. I think that's about it. If you have any questions for me, hit me up on Twitter or leave a like or a comment in this video below. All right, thank you, and I'm gonna try to get better at the YouTube thing, so please bear with me. All right, see you next time.